parivartini samsare mrutah ko va na jayate sajato yena jatena yati vamshas samunnatim.
Today we sit with a verse from the Panchatantra tradition, a small poem with a very sharp edge. Listen to it first in Sanskrit. Parivartini samsare mritah ko va na jayate sa jato yena jatena yati vamshah samunnatim. The plain meaning is this: in this ever-revolving world, tell me, who, having died, is not born again? Birth is nothing special. He alone is truly born, by whose birth the whole family line rises to greatness. Let us walk through the words slowly because the poetry lives in them. Parivartini comes from the root vrit, meaning to turn or to roll. It describes something ceaselessly revolving like a wheel. Samsare comes from the root sri, to flow. Samsara is literally the flowing together, the endless current of worldly existence. So the opening image is a turning wheel set in a moving river. Nothing here stands still. Mrita means one who has died, from the root mri, the same ancient root that gives us the English word mortal. Ko va na jayate, who indeed is not born again? The little word va adds a shrug, almost a smile. The question expects only one answer: everyone. Everyone who dies gets born again. The wheel guarantees it. And then the turn. Sa jata, he alone is born. Yena jatena, by whose being born. Yati, goes, reaches, attains. Vamshaha, the family, the lineage. Samunnatim, to great elevation, a full bending upward. Notice the wordplay at the heart of the verse. The root jan, to be born, appears twice, jayate and jata, but with two completely different weights. The first is cheap birth, the automatic kind the wheel hands out for free. The second is true birth, capitalized, earned. Merely being born, says the poet, is not an accomplishment. It is the default setting of the universe. There is one more treasure hidden in the vocabulary. The word vamsha means lineage, family, dynasty. But its first meaning is bamboo. Your family line is pictured as a living bamboo stalk, and every generation is one segment, one node. Each new node either extends the stalk higher or ends it. And bamboo is hollow. The individual is a channel, not the substance. What flows through you matters more than you. Now, where does this verse come from? It belongs to the Panchatantra, the great story collection of worldly wisdom composed by the sage Vishnu Sharman, and it appears prominently in the prologue of the Hitopadesha, which grew out of the Panchatantra. The setting is a king in anguish. His sons are fools, uneducated, entitled, drifting, and a kingdom inherited by fools is already lost. In his grief, the king recites verses about what a son truly is, and this is one of them. He is saying, I do not lack heirs, bodies are easy. The revolving world produces bodies endlessly. What I lack is a son whose existence lifts the house. And this verse is the reason He then hands his sons to Vishnu Sharman, whose stories, the entire Panchatantra, are the cure for the disease this verse names. Look at what the verse is really doing philosophically. It takes the doctrine of rebirth, which sounds cosmic and grand, and deliberately deflates it. You have been born countless times, it says. So has everyone. Recurrence is not meaning. Then it relocates meaning somewhere very specific, in the grammar itself. The truly born person is described in the instrumental case, yena jatena, by whom. You become an instrument, a cause, a means through which something larger than you rises. And notice carefully what rises. Not he, not the individual, the vamsha, the lineage, the family, the institution. The verse finds the answer to mortality not in escaping the wheel, but in making your one turn of the wheel lift the whole vehicle. This idea echoes everywhere. The Bhagavad Gita says that for the born, death is certain, and for the dead, birth is certain. But where the Gita concludes, therefore do not grieve, the Panchatantra concludes, therefore do not coast. The Greeks distinguished mere biological life from a life worth telling as a story. Jewish tradition speaks of lador vador, from generation to generation, the duty to hand the world upward. And modern psychology arrived at the same doorstep. Erikson called the central task of adulthood generativity, investing in what outlives you, and found that adults who fail this task stagnate. They are alive, but in the language of our verse, they have not yet been born. Viktor Frankl said meaning is found only by pointing beyond yourself. That is exactly what the instrumental case does. By whom? So, let me leave you with 3 questions and 1 practice. First, the instrument question. Complete this sentence honestly. By my existence, blank has measurably risen. What fills the blank? Second, the node question. You are a segment in several bamboos. Your family, your team, your community. In each one, are you an extending node or a terminating node? Third, the default question. How much of yesterday was mere rotation of the wheel and how much was actual upward bending? And the practice. Tonight and every night, keep 2 simple columns. Call one turned, everything that merely recurred. Call the other lifted, anything that left a person, a project or your lineage higher than it was this morning. The rule is 1 entry in lifted per day, however small. Teach someone one thing, improve one system, add one lasting brick to the house. Then once a year keep a second birthday, not the day you were born, but a day to ask, did the bamboo rise this year because I passed through it? Because in a revolving world, everyone gets born. The wheel sees to that. The only question worth asking is the one the old king asked over the heads of his sleeping sons. When you arrived, did anything rise? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
परिवर्तिनि संसारे मृतः को वा न जायते स जातो येन जातेन याति वंशः समुन्नतिम्